Oh, okay. All right. Hey, Sheila. Welcome to the Finfluential. How's it going there?
Thank you very much. The going is perfect. It's summer, so we're just, taking a day at a time.
Right. Yeah. You're coping well with the high temperature and the humidity.
Don't mention it, yeah, but we're just trying to keep up with it. And, we're looking forward for the winter.
Oh, yeah. I agree here. I mean, just to let people know, I'm also in Dubai too, but I'm enjoying the wonderful what do you say, the mall air conditioning.
Mm-hmm.
So it is fabulous, I guess. And also, I'm just enjoying my little karak chai over here. So yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's pretty much it. But anyways, let's talk about you because you are the star of my show. So I would love to hear. Oh, I guess the viewers, the subscribers, the listeners, wherever they are, they need to know more about Sheila and her financial wellness center. So, take it away.
Sure. Thank you very much, Marcus, for this great opportunity. As you've just mentioned, my name is Sheila Mboga. I'm the founder of Financial Wellness Center. This is an organization that is focused on creating financial literacy awareness as well as investment management and business consultancy. We currently focus on people who are between the age of 18 to 45, because that is where most people tend to make a lot of financial mistakes that come to affect them in their later years. And about the segment of entrepreneurship, we do also have an Entrepreneurs Academy, which is solely focused on helping entrepreneurs learn various business models that they can use so that they can create brand preference, increase their sales, as well as make customers like them more. So that's all about what we do in Financial Wellness Center, as well as a little bit about me.
Okay, yeah, but I actually just want to dive in a little bit deeper, actually, because I guess I'm actually quite curious to know why. I mean, what is your why? Your origin, or I guess your origin story. The reason, like, I guess maybe did you have like a personal experience that made you decide to start the Financial Wellness Center? Like, is that?
Oh, yes. Yes, my why is I have made a lot of financial mistakes that when I come to think about it, I realized that I lacked financial education. So I made decisions out of lack of it. Now, when I learned this the principles and the financial principles and was able to get out of that mistakes and correct some of them, I decided, like, why, if I made such a mistake, how many people out there are making the same? And that led me to my why, and I started Financial Wellness Center, because I wanted to help others who may have already made the same mistakes like I did, or those who've made lesser mistakes than I did or more than I did. And to those that are yet to make such mistakes, we just let them know that, okay, when you take this path, this is what is going to happen. When you take this other path, this is what is going to happen to you. So that was my why.
Oh, that's okay. No, thank for sharing that. I definitely do like you're willing to share just a little bit of the personal experience, and I think what I really like to, I guess, which you brought it up was financial education. So honestly, I guess when I look at schools or even universities and stuff, well, even also like talking to family, friends and stuff, I have come to this, I guess, sort of this weird conclusion. Maybe I'm wrong, but hopefully you might correct this. I have a feeling that financial education is like not just cliche, like important, like really important. Like it's actually is quite a big issue for all of us, actually. So, could you shed some light on that?
Absolutely. Our schools don't teach financial education. And how many years do you spend in school? Almost half of your life you spend studying, right?
Right.
So for
What? I'll
example,
tell you what. I would include myself and many other people tend to be professional students, so that's a whole other level. But
yes, the thing is, we spend almost half of our lives in school, but we are not taught the aspect of money. The school prepares you on how to get money, but it does not prepare you on how to manage it. So you find so many of us, we are professionals, we are getting the money, but the same money is hurting us because we don't know how to manage it. Remember, I always say money is a tool that can help or hurt you. So you can get money, but as a tool, if you do not use it properly, then chances are high it's gonna hurt you. And having an education in finance, for example, a degree in finance, doesn't equate to being financially literate.
Right.
I have met quite a number of people who have studied finance, but they have made a lot of mistakes that you're like, okay, what's happening? So that's one of the reasons that made me to, resort to creating financial wellness and letting people know that we acknowledge education, but at the same time, we also need to do self-literacy when it comes to matters of money. We need to learn about money. We need to talk to our family and friends about money. We need to even teach kids about money. Because most of us, the characters and habits we are showing right now in our adulthood, the foundation started when we were young. How did you see money being managed in your household? What kind of mindset were you given about money? Now, in adulthood, that is what we tend to unlearn some of the bad habits that we acquired while growing up.
That's an interesting point. Definitely, I do agree. I have some friends. I mean, who are also sort of who are more in the corporate finance space, but also at the same time too. I have some friends, who have they know how to make money, but what I learned is they have a hard time keeping it, and they end up getting into debt way faster too. So that is some that's some interesting points, and I'm glad that you brought that up because I guess just because you went to school, doesn't mean you are, I guess, financially literate. So but I was just curious to know about your story, like how did you I guess find this path of financial literacy? I guess everyone has their own journey to go through. So, how did your journey to financial literacy or financial education, I guess, moving forward?
Thank you very much for such a great question, Marcus. My journey for financial literacy, as I mentioned earlier, I had made a lot of financial mistakes that I got to a point where I said, no, I need to change this. So I, of course, started by acquiring knowledge. Then I followed it up by getting mentorship from people who've been there and done that.
All right. Yeah.
As well as various experts and gurus in this space. And then I put into action what I had acquired. Besides that, I have attained education in matters of finance. I'm an economist by profession. So when I coupled all this up, I decided, like, why don't I build a platform whereby we will not just give you theories, we'll also give you the practical bit of it, because we all have obtained theory. You have Googled sometimes, you've checked information everywhere, but the gap comes in when how to do it. Okay, I've learned about budgeting maybe on Google. Now, how can I make this budgeting work for me in my finances? So that is the gap I sought to fill in and let people know that, okay, we have the information, you can access it from anywhere, but how can you be able to do it according to your finances? Another thing, some people think, like, okay, until I become a millionaire or billionaire, that is when I will need financial literacy, which is very wrong.
Yeah.
Which is very wrong, because with whatever you have, if you're not able to know how to manage it, even when you have much, it will still run away from you. Somebody said money is a kind of energy, and you attract it or it can repel you. So I always say it's not about how much I have, but what do I do with what I have, and that is how the journey for financial literacy started.
No, I mean, what you just said about money's energy. I think it's a really powerful concept. I have also kind of said the same thing too. But I don't think people realize. So the other points you talked about, like either you attract money or you can sometimes repel it. And I have seen that in some of my family members, even some of my friends. I mean, like when it comes to creating massive income and stuff. At that times I would feel I'd feel jealous, but at the same time too, I like what blows my mind is people can just lose money real fast. They get into debt and. I mean, all kinds of craziness. So let's say I had some interesting people in my life. I'm like sometimes you'll be like, wait, what? How is it even possible? But you know what? It happens, And but I want to talk about money's energy, because when I think of the U.S. dollar, come from the state side, to me, a lot of people see it as a dirty piece of paper, but just like energy, it doesn't get destroyed. It's just transferred from one person to another, So, is that? Would you agree with that statement, or do you have your own opinion on that?
Absolutely, I actually agree with that statement, and that leads to this very famous cliche that people say: the rich continue to get richer, and the poor continue to get poor. Have you ever stopped to think, what does this mean? What causes the rich to get richer and the poor to get poor? One aspect of money is the mindset. And that's one of the reasons I said money is an energy, because it's a mindset first. What do you think about money? Now, if all you think about money is, if I get money, my role is to spend, that is the mindset you have, and that is the energy you're gonna release, and it will lead you to do that action towards the money you have. So the reason why I agree that money is more of an energy first is because it starts with your mind, and whatever you have in the mind, it gets released as an energy. So if I think, okay, I'm going to work very hard to get money to spend. Nothing like saving, nothing like growing it, just spending. The thing is, if I get even 1 million right now, what will I do? The energy that will be rushing in me is, I need to buy this, I need to buy this, I need to buy this, I need to buy this. And that will result to that action. And that is how, before I notice it, the money has disappeared. And I'm like, where did my money go? Somebody stole from me or something. But it's the energy that you released from it. And that is the same applies with when you have this abundance mindset towards money. You tend to see money as a tool or a vehicle that can get you where you want to go. So you have that mindset, you are releasing that energy. So even when you come to the money itself, the tool, you are going to see it as, this is a vehicle that's going to take me from point A to B. So the actions that you will do, they will be more of, like when you're driving, you're focused on getting to another point. So you'll be focused on controlling the car and ensuring you're getting to your destination. The same with money. So if your mindset is right, you release an energy that is going to make the money work for you, which will result to you doing actions that will grow the money. And that is how the rich become richer and the poor become poor.
Yeah, come to think of it, I mean, I've heard that statement I mean, like so many times, right? It is, I mean, I heard it, from my friends. I see it in the movies, that kind of deal. Even also in the news too, right? Oh gosh, I mean, you always hear these obviously it's all clickbait stuff. It's to arouse a reaction or a fear and stuff. But but it is something to to really think about. So, and especially when you talk about, because the example when you talk about, the abundance mindset, like, I'm sure you must have heard, like in the States, we have all these lottery, these shows, not shows, but they're more like, these, it's run by the government. I mean, funny enough, but, think that there are people who have, suddenly they win like, like $10 million, $20 million, some also $50 million.
Yes.
But here's the thing: they do not know, they don't know how to handle this kind of money, so they just end up buying stuff. They end up getting into more debt, actually, which is crazy.
Exactly.
But I think a lot of people are not ready to. They don't know how to contain that, or even some people don't know how to even receive it. Also, I mean, I know we talk about finance, but there's also a lot of, in a weird way, a lot of like spiritual stuff going on too, like the mindset or your. I mean, it does also play a role too. So, because I used to work with American Express, so a lot of my I guess my ex clients and all, they're all like either upper management people or they have big businesses and stuff. And last year was quite an eye-opening situation where I knew this one general manager, incredibly high income per month. I mean, ridiculous amounts. But this guy has way over like 2 million
debt.
There, 2 million in debt, and that is just with Amex alone. So, it kind of like it kind of challenged my paradigm. I'm like, wait, what the heck is going on? So so yeah, I mean what you just said is it's definitely an eye opener, not only just for me but also to anyone else who's listening in. So I'm glad you're talking about that. I really appreciate that.
Absolutely. Again, you just mentioned about the lottery winners, and I can tell you, sometimes I always say the problem is not the money. You don't need more money. You actually need a strategy and a mindset for the money. And it's the mindset before the asset. If your mindset is wrong, no matter how much assets you accumulate or opportunities for gaining resources you have, you can never fully utilize them.
Yeah, no, agreed. Yeah. I agree. But but I know, I'm sure you might be aware too. Like when you talk about mindset and stuff. But do you think have you ever come across people who are not able to accept that? As one of the reasons why they're not able to, increase their income or be able to save money or invest. Have people ever challenged you on that?
Oh yes, a lot of people have challenged me on that because they tend to say, okay, how does the mind relate to earning money? I mean, if you want money, you have to work for it. You have to, do a business, go to work, or just do something. It cannot just come. But the thing is, it's a cycle. And I'm glad you brought the example of a senior person who earned a lot of money, but still the person was still not poor, but was not able to manage it well. Now, what does that tell you? The problem is not the money. The problem is, what do you think about money? What are your beliefs about money? And that is where, and that is where some people think, okay, I don't need to think about money. I need to get more. But even if you get more, you'll find yourself doing the wrong things and remaining in that cycle. And this gives you another example of people who, they can be low income earners, but you find that they've done so much. You even wonder, how can this person be able to, do all this stuff with such a limited income, yet this other person with an high income is not able to do much. Again, this is where we bring in the aspect of, lifestyle creep.
Right, yeah. Preacher, yeah. Tell the audience what this lifestyle creep is all about. What do you mean?
Yes.
Just so give them more clarity,
Exactly. Lifestyle creep is whereby as your income increases, the more you are tempted to do things that are way beyond what your income has. For example, if you get a promotion, or if your business makes profit this year, for example, your business makes profit this year, lifestyle creep can tempt you to move your office, if it's a physical office, from whichever neighborhood it was to a high-end neighborhood with the mindset or the expectation that I will get more. But you're forgetting you have not built a system whereby you can keep the profit rotating or coming back to you. So you find a person makes this high income, but they don't have a system that can make this income to keep rotating and sustain a certain lifestyle. So they jump to that lifestyle, but they don't create a system to sustain it. So what's the end result? Someone ending up saying, I used to live this life, now I cannot afford it. And this pandemic has really torn down the curtains. We've seen people who we thought they had it all together being broken down, and some had to confess that, okay, I've been living a lie, or I've been living a lie. I need to start living according to my financial capacity.
Yeah. Definitely. When you talk about, you can say the curtains coming down, and yeah, I did get to see not necessarily like a first-hand kind of deal, but I have seen some older clients, or let me put this way, like high net worth individuals who have kind of fallen from grace. Let's put it that way. So, but there's not only just high net worth people, but even also, I guess, within my church group or my other friend circle, and also like once upon a time too in my life, I also had my mess ups as well. So I had to start from the bottom, but now I'm here. So and God willing, it's gonna improve more. As I increase my financial confidence, human capital, all that good stuff. So, but yeah, I but just want to go back to talking about the Financial Wellness Center, and you have definitely interviewed a lot of interesting people. Whether they are accountants, financial psychologists, so some pretty cool financial coaches, and so I think you interviewed this guy, Sammy the Rabbit. The fan. I thought that was pretty cool. Teaching younger children about what money is all about, investing, savings, budgeting. I never to me that was interesting. I never imagined that you could teach little kids actually about money and how to save money and how to give money. So yeah, but I want to ask you because you have interviewed a lot of people. Who was your, I guess, top 3 favorite people to talk to, and who you learn from?
That's a pretty interesting question. Yes. First of all, I would say when I started the Wealth Wants the show on our YouTube channel, the goal was to have, bring different opinions from different experts so that we can, just have a discussion the way we are having it right now and get to hear what other people think about certain topics. Now, I have a lot of people who are on top of my list. I can say all the guests are on top of my list.
Yeah, sure. I know I'm putting you on the spot. Yeah, so
yeah.
A little bit. Yeah. Okay. If you don't want to bring, but I'm sure there's. I know like a lot of your guests have incredible insights and stuff, but I'm sure there has to be. Maybe like say 1 or 2 who kind of made you think differently about money, or I guess about handling finances.
I will not mention a name, but I'll just narrow down to the topics that really got me.
Okay, sure. Oh, that's even better. No, that's fine. Yeah. We can better keep the person anonymous.
Yes. So there's this discussion we were having with one of the guests on networking for your business.
Okay.
So we've all thought like networking is just me meeting you and saying, hi Marcus, I'm Sheila, I do this and this, would you be interested in my in my products and services? And the next thing you get from that person is either a cold response, or sometimes they just try to accommodate you, but you can tell or feel that this person is not interested, and others will even just end up to soothe your emotions and tell you, okay, I'll think about it. For you as an entrepreneur, as a person, you'll think, oh, I've networked effectively, but when you come to check at the results, they're not yielding. Which that discussion got me thinking, okay, how many people do I think I know? How many people have I spoken to? And they've never bought any of my products or services, or even made an inquiry. So there has to be a problem there.
I feel the pain. Oh God.
And that discussion made me shift my mindset about networking. Networking
Okay.
is not about telling someone what you want to give them, but rather building a relationship first with them. And then from that relationship, the person will feel confident enough and let you know what they need. Then after you know what they need, you can now provide it or customize it to see if it matches the services you offer. And that is how you have a closed deal. So networking is not about knowing 1,000 people. It's about building a relationship with that one or two people who are
Right, okay.
able to market on your behalf without even you asking them. You get? So that is one of the topic that really got me, and I was like, oh God, this is something I need to work on. As well as there have been other topics that we've discussed, like money and relationships. We've also spoken about how you can create an investment plan, how you can money and your emotions, the psychology side of money, as well as we've also spoken about the various business ideas that people can look into. Now, with that said, I would like to cordially invite you and our audience to our show. It always happens on every Wednesday on our YouTube channel. That is Financial Wellness with Sheila Mboga at 6:30 p.m. GMT or 10:30 p.m. Gulf Standard Time.
Yeah, sure. Hey, thank you for the invite. Definitely, I will put the links I guess in the description below, depending on what platform it is, whether it's YouTube or the other podcasting platforms. But yeah, definitely would love people to check your vast library of guest interviews of really interesting people. So yeah. No, definitely. Some of the people you interviewed are really interesting, and they brings quite interesting golden nuggets, for those who are willing to listen. They'll listen and they will come and figure out, So.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, no, but I like the point where you talked about networking, and definitely coming from the sales side before. Yeah, especially if you're living in Dubai or maybe in some of the big cities like say New York or London, it's all about networking, but then everybody has a different variation of networking. They meet different people and stuff, and it tends to be more like a numbers game kind of deal, So, but I think a lot of people keep forgetting that when it comes to networking, the most important thing is building that relationship. I think that's where I know myself and many other people too who are in the sales space, we fail at it. We just try to hit our numbers and stuff, but we lack the we lack the personal touch, right?
Yes, sorry about that. Yes, we do
Sorry.
lack. Yes, we do lack the charge, and when you start thinking, am I clear?
Yeah, you're clear. You're clear. Yeah, I think there is some background noise, but definitely we can hear your voice. So.
Okay. As I was saying, building relationships is very, very important, and when you start viewing people from a relationship aspect of it rather than selling side of it, then you are able to build a foundation that is going to not just help you sell one product, but create a pipeline for the growth of your business. Now, a lot of us, especially entrepreneurs, what we do, we just want to sell that one product. We don't think about what happens in 3 months. You get?
Yeah. Sure. Right. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, I know because I mean just yesterday and day before yesterday, and I just attended a Dubai blockchain like a conference. So other than just learning about the technology, the other side of the conferences is to network with people and actually build some relationships. Um, so yeah, I think one thing I definitely learned was sometimes you gotta like you need to kind of like meet some people a couple of times to let them know, hey, Marcos exists, this is how he looks, this is how I talk, that kind of deal. So I, I can definitely attest to the point where when it comes to networking, relationships is an important factor. It's not just it's not like I guess in the States you call it speed dating kind of deal. So I think like people need to meet you a couple of times, like and not just talk about business. I think at the end of the day, my belief is now it's very important for you, or like for example for me, to be a personal brand. I guess as an entrepreneur, so like is that something like is that something that you believe in, or do you think that matters, like to make yourself a personal brand, like not only just for your business but also to other people in the business community?
Yes, a personal brand is very important because, a brand communicates your core values and your beliefs. Now, at some point, people want the human touch of certain aspects. And that is
Right.
why we don't always use cartoons to bring about a product from January to December, At some
okay.
point, you have to bring in the human touch. And that is why we just don't use robots to do customer service throughout. At some point, you have to give, the human side of it. And that
Okay.
is what brings in mind creating a personal brand as a person. People want to know, okay, what's this? Who is behind Finfluential? I want
Right,
to
okay.
know the person. And that's how you need to work on your brand and ensure that whatever your core values are, whatever your beliefs are, they are in alignment with whatever business you're doing or whatever vision you're propagating out there. So building a personal brand is very important. And, again, for example, you cannot say that let's say you are a nurse, but every time I'm meeting you, you are with a guitar or,
Oh, okay. All right.
like,
Okay.
it's kind of if I'm going to say that I'm a nurse, I need to portray the nurse characteristics even online. A lot of people will tell you, okay, let's say I'm a digital expert, but when
Okay.
you go to meet them, it's a whole different thing. The person doesn't even look like a digitized person,
Oh, okay. I get.
Or
Yeah,
they don't
yeah, sure,
even
sure.
know, they are still in old school, but they are telling you they are good at digital marketing. So you find that their personal brand and what they are saying is not matching, and that kind of makes people not to really trust you that much.
Oh, sorry. Is it, sorry, I think that there was a little slight interference. But can you just repeat again the example of a person who's into digital marketing, but they're not, I guess they're not talking the talk, I guess? Or, I guess walking the walk, sorry. Like,
Yeah, I was saying, as you mentioned, walking the talk is very important. I'll just give an example. Someone can be telling you they are a digital expert, but
Right.
when you meet them, they don't portray anything to do with digital marketing, They are actually old-fashioned. For example, they don't even have a smartphone, but they tell you they are digital experts. Now,
Okay.
or the way they bring themselves out, it's totally different from what they tell you they can do. Having potential is good, but people want to see the action, and this can only be seen through your brand, your personal brand, so that they can trust you and follow what you are propagating.
All right. No, yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, because I definitely do see. I guess in my personal in my personal life, I mean, there are. I guess especially in Dubai, for example, it's quite a big international city. Sometimes I do come across people like they kind of like talk the talk, but many cases they don't really deliver. I mean, I can understand. Okay, look, sometimes mistakes happen and stuff and all, but I have seen quite a number of times where they say one thing, but either they're doing something different or it doesn't really happen. So and that's been kind of like my experience over here, working in Dubai. But I'm sure you might have. I know. Have you had sort of a similar experiences in your journey to be an entrepreneur? Like, because of course, dealing with other, I guess, people in the marketplace.
Yeah. It's something that is, we cannot assume it. I've met the same kind of people, and we just keep on trying to tell them your personal brand matters, and if you are going to, if you want people to build trust in what you do, then you need to walk the talk. One thing I've noticed as an entrepreneur, some people, they will not even buy your product or service. They will not even let you know they are watching you, but they are watching you.
All right. Then, yeah.
They are watching your consistency. They are watching if you do what you say. Then, after so many months or years, they will come and be like, okay, I've been following you, I've been checking out what you do, and now I'm very confident we can do business together. So, you, as an entrepreneur, you have to have that at the back of your mind. Nobody can be telling you, but they are watching. And the sad thing with watching, you can't tell someone is watching. It's just like when you're walking in the road, you're focused on where you're going. You don't keep looking around, who is looking at me, But you might find someone saying, oh, I saw you in this street. I saw you passing by. So, as an entrepreneur, have that in mind. You may not have actions taking place right now, but know that someone is watching you and they're checking out your consistency and how you carry yourself out.
Yeah, I can attest to that. Especially in this day and age, I guess if you are using like platforms, like say for example LinkedIn, like for your career, professional aspect of your life, then you got your Instagram, you got your Facebook, and I'm sure there are also other social media platforms and stuff. But I think you're right though. Like, I think one of the challenges, I know for myself, has been to be trying to be consistent in what I'm talking about, what I'm passionate about, and just trying to connect with certain people in a particular field. Like just recently, I just started, getting into blockchain and digital assets and stuff. So just talking to people and also delivering some content about it. So because I know in my personal life, I'm seeing, in recruiters, potential recruiters, talking to me about this, like the space I'm in. So, definitely I do agree with you. People are watching and, they are seeing your moves, and especially with Google and social media, you have to assume people are watching, It's, we can't pretend, it's, we have some sort of, we are living in a bubble. That's but yeah, I mean that's yeah. So but yeah, other than the Finfluential, oh sorry, the my bad. I mean the Financial Wellness Center, and are you working on any new projects, or do you have any future plans, or coming up in the future? For people to check you out.
Oh yes, we have a lot in the pipeline. One of them being starting campus editions. So we are going to root out for students in universities globally.
Okay.
So that we can get them on the train. Because again, a lot of mistakes are made when you are in school, especially university. That's when most people will get into student loan. If you have access to, a credit card, or if you've been given a credit card by your parent, you're going to max it out. You're going to,
I'm praying for those parents. I mean, that's quite a scary move.
Yeah, so we are now getting to have a campus edition, and actually, like today evening, we are going to have our first edition, and this will be with the students from universities across Africa.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So, yeah, we are planning to do that because we realized, in as much as we just want to address people who are already working, and how about these people who are being prepared to get into the job market?
Right. Yeah.
They also need that knowledge. So that is one of the things that's in the pipeline, as well as we are looking into hosting more exhibitions for entrepreneurs, because we realized that the more you exhibit your entrepreneurs, when we put them out there, the more they get people to know about them, as well as they get to understand markets they may not have thought about. So we are looking into doing more of entrepreneurs exhibition, just like the one we concluded. And thank you so much for being a partner in that. From the feedback we got is that people want to know more about these entrepreneurs. They didn't know about them. So with this exhibition, it's like a stand. The way we are going to have Expo 2020, people are going to have stands there. Now we are looking into doing it more virtually. Yes.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, we are looking into doing it in a virtual way so that we can cover people across the globe, because not everyone will be able to come to Expo 2020, especially with this pandemic. We can take your business to people in Asia, in Middle East, in Africa, in Europe, virtually, and they'll get to know you. So those are the two things that we have right now, and we're looking forward for more.
Yeah, sure. Now, I'm glad that you brought up the entrepreneurs. I guess the exhibition week or expo week. I forgot the title of it, but I think what interested me personally, when you brought up entrepreneurs who are in the agro business space. I don't know if that's the right terminology, but to me that was interesting to see that. It was news to me, but it was a good news to learn that there is incredible agribusiness opportunities, and I apologize, I don't remember the guys and the girls. I think one of the first one of the interviewers, I think she's the first like your first agricultural business entrepreneur. I thought that was fascinating to learn what she's up to and stuff. And I feel like personally, even I talk to some of my friends back in the States, Some of them have done quite well, like in stocks and also in cryptocurrencies and all. Many of them are actually looking into moving either their profits into like precious metals, gold, silver, or commodities. But another one they're looking into is farmlands, and whether South America and I guess Africa in general. I don't. So I apologize. I don't know much about the business space in Africa. I know that it's humongous, but the farmland opportunities. I'm actually very impressed. So I'm glad that you are talking to many of those entrepreneurs, because I do believe there is so much potential in that particular industry, and I think Africa as a continent in that space, I personally believe it'll lead the way. So. But please do share. Your insights about that.
The thing is, people tend to think that there are industries that they cannot be. There are industries that are not that good. But trust me, there are people on the ground who are focusing on such kind of industries, especially agribusiness. And I was so happy when I saw young entrepreneurs into agribusiness, because we've had this mindset that agribusiness is for people who've retired, someone who is old, they cannot work in offices anymore. Now they go to just farm and wait for them, and they wait, to die. But the story is changing. We are seeing young people who are actually creating employment through agribusiness. Like the lady you're talking about, she's in Zambia, and when I met her, I was so impressed, because they are, creating a lot of opportunities, not just for the farmers, but also for people who are looking for work through agribusiness. And we can agree, we have to eat, no matter what happens. In as much as you have, even if you have a lot of money, you have that money because at some point you need to use it, and you have to buy food. Where does this food get from? If you're going to leave all the production to the older generation or people who've retired, then we shouldn't complain when we are like, oh, this mango should be processed like this, So I'm so happy with the entrepreneurs that we are having, and more are coming on board, because they are changing the narrative of entrepreneurship. They are getting into spaces that they were once considered spaces for the great or this group of people. They are they are breaking the glass ceiling. That's the word.
Right. Because when I learned about that and who you interview, not just one, but also it's not just the first girl, but even there were other people after her. There's some other great gentlemen out there. I think in Kenya and other places too. I was like, wait a minute, they're like because in my mind, because when I think of my different version of entrepreneurship is, I look at places where people are either ignoring or they're telling other people to avoid. So when someone says, hey, like I guess I'm like this, like that the black sheep and the black sheep student, like in school. If a teacher tells me don't do this, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it really harder. So
exactly.
So that's what when I looked into cryptocurrencies, and also I looked into farmlands like in Latin America, South America, and now I'm seeing in various parts of Africa. There is differential. That is, to me, if you attain differential knowledge, you can really make differential profits. Not only just in monetary terms, but your net worth, and in terms of I'm thinking of intergenerational family wealth. So I'm I'm thinking more like a very big macro kind of deal. And I mean, because to me it's exciting. So to see the people who you're talking to and stuff. So I really commend you, and I'll love for you to shed some light on that, because I mean that's my personal view. But I'm just impressed to see young people too. Young millennials, Gen Zs also getting into it too. So I'm excited, and I'm definitely I'm spreading the word. People to check out the Financial Wellness Center, and hey, keep doing what you're doing, and one thing I know for sure, the best is yet to come, especially with what you are working on.
Absolutely, and thank you very much, Marcus, for this opportunity. I'm super grateful, and I also like what you're doing, especially creating awareness on matters of cryptocurrencies and all these digital currencies, because there has been a heated debate around this topic, and the fact that you're bringing it into the limelight, and as well inviting people who are already in that field, it's something that I must commend you for that, as well as Finfluential. You're doing an amazing job,
I do appreciate it. No, thank you. Because the idea of video podcasting was actually I learned it from you. So I definitely want to give you some credit, and no, because I'm definitely passionate about like crypto, but especially the blockchain-based solutions. I mean, I see a lot of entrepreneurship, and to me, I like the idea of using new technologies, and as well as the old technology, whether you call it agriculture or mining or whatever. I think that these two worlds can be connected, and something new, something better will come up. So that's my I guess my big dream, so to speak. So I do definitely am excited about that, and I'm also excited for the things you're working on. So, but anyway, Sheila, I know I know you got other things to do, other big plans to make it happen, but I do absolutely appreciate you taking the time to have this kind of a casual conversation with me, and just and I appreciate sharing your origin story and also the future of the Financial Wellness Center. So definitely excited. So thank you very much.
You're most welcome, and I look forward to us having more of these conversations, and just getting to talk more about trending issues that are affecting us, especially as the current generation.
Sure, yeah. Anyways, Sheila, let's we'll definitely have another, I guess, kind of like another interview, whether it's going to be casual or we can deep dive into something, but definitely we'll plan later in the future, because I know with Expo 2020 coming in, it's a whole nother I know schedules are going to be crazy, so are you excited about that?
I'm super excited. I can't wait. I just want to go and see, and of course network in a smart way.
Okay. Oh, that's interesting.
Build more relationships, because this is an opportunity that comes once in a lifetime, and for you to learn, to see things in a new perspective, as well as get to bring more news to our audience as they expect it from us.
Sure, yeah. No, definitely. Definitely agree. But anyways, anyone who, to all our listeners, viewers, subscribers, fans, family, friends, you name it, you got to check out you can find the Financial Wellness Center on YouTube, and you can also find Sheila. She is definitely active on LinkedIn, so we'll definitely leave the links below for your viewing and educational pleasure. So anyway, Sheila, thank you so much, and y'all be good, y'all be safe. We will talk to you soon. Bye for now.
Thank you very much.